The Minnesota Vikings are not pursuing Aaron Rodgers. It's official. There are two reports. The Vikings are not pursuing Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if the Steelers still are. I don't know if the Giants are. I don't know if Rodgers is pursuing the Giants. Is he pursuing the Steelers? We tried to kick the tires on this Vikings situation, and I wondered, I was skeptical, but I thought, okay, if the Vikings are interested in him and J.J. McCarthy's not ready to play, okay, then I would take a chance on Aaron Rodgers for 1 year. J.J. McCarthy is your future. You traded up to get him at number 10 in the draft last year. But I just didn't know. It felt like maybe Rodgers was interested. I just didn't know if it was reciprocated. And maybe internally, the Vikings were saying, hey, what about this? What do you think? Maybe you talk to J.J. McCarthy. Maybe you get an update on his recovery time. And then you finally come to the realization, we're good. Now, I do think they made a mistake in letting Daniel Jones go because I'd like to have a little bit of experience there as a backup. Sam Darnold was going to cost you more. I got that. But Daniel Jones, I think you could have kept him there, and he would have been maybe okay as a backup. But you're getting somebody who is going to be basically a rookie and playing, but coming off knee surgery, and there's going to be an adjustment period. This is a team that was a playoff team, had aspirations of going to the Super Bowl. But now if you're Aaron Rodgers, does Aaron Rodgers want to stay in New York? If you wanted to go to the Steelers, you probably would have gone to the Steelers. I don't know if that's a great fit. It's just because it's, if he goes into Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is the star. He went to the Jets, and they're like, what do you want? Do whatever you want. You want to change the colors. I don't care. They were desperate. The Steelers aren't desperate, but it feels like you go in there, that's Mike Tomlin you're dealing with. You're dealing with T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Cam Hayward had something to say. He's the Steeler defensive lineman on the Not Just Football podcast on what would your recruiting pitch be to Aaron Rodgers to join the Steelers?
I ain't doing that or darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Like, either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. If you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. Pittsburgh Steelers. If you want to be part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin on my back.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't lower yourself. Oh, Aaron, could you please come here? Move on. You should have kept Justin Fields. At least that gave you a bridge quarterback for the next 2 years. Maybe he develops into something. Now what do you have? Mason Rudolph? Okay. Are you going to bring Russ back? If it's true that Russ and Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, didn't get along at the end of the season or maybe didn't see eye to eye, but you're the Steelers. Now, I get it. The Giants, they are going to have to beg to get Aaron Rodgers. The Giants, who would have thought? One of the blue bloods, and you're waiting to find out, would Aaron Rodgers please come and play for our team? It feels like the Giants are taking Shedeur Sanders. I don't have any information on that other than it feels like Shedeur has thought all along that's where he was going. Now can you bring in somebody? Do you bring in Aaron Rodgers and let Shedeur Sanders sit a year? Maybe. But the once proud New York football Giants, they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers. And if you're the Steelers, move on. No, move on. You might not have somebody as good as Aaron Rodgers, or the ceiling might not be as high, but move on. You're the Steelers. You don't do this. Please. And then Russell Wilson. I still think Kirk Cousins plays a role in this somewhere, at some point, somehow. Now, the Falcons, they have him. They're paying him. They want him to be their backup. And it feels like every team needs a good backup. If you're going to be a playoff team, you got to have a good backup. Chances are your quarterback's going to get dinged up a little bit at some point, somewhere down the line. Michael Penix Jr. III has been banged up in his career, early in his career when he was at Indiana. So the quarterbacking carousel, I don't know if it's stopped or stalled, but it doesn't seem like it's going at the same speed that we thought it was going to. I thought Aaron Rodgers would make a decision by last Friday. But he's Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he waits. Maybe you wait until after the draft. And this is what I wondered with some of these teams. You're going to get a quarterback. You might get a quarterback. If you don't get your quarterback, then things change a little bit. Then all of a sudden, maybe there's more people interested in Russell Wilson. Maybe there's more people interested in Kirk Cousins. Maybe he becomes more valuable as a trade possibility. There's always the chance that Aaron Rodgers just says, I'm done. And this came out, I'd love to give, maybe it was Diana Rossini. I'd love to give the credit to the person, but it felt like there is that option on the table. And that seems obvious at his age, what he went through with the Jets. But then we always come back to the following. Well, you don't want to go out this way. How do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out? Probably not on a high note unless he goes to the Vikings. You can't all be John Elway. And if you're going to go to the Giants, how do you think you're going to go out? This isn't Travis Kelce who played in the Super Bowl. Hey, I want to come back. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, does he want to play? I don't know. Does he know? But if I'm the Steelers, I make you an offer and you don't want to come, we're the Steelers. Then I say, all right, we move on. Were the Vikings ever really interested in him? Was he more interested in them? Now, there are reports that he loves New York, wants to stay in the New York area if he's going to play, whether that's true or not, but he would go from, one locker room to the other locker room in the same building, from the Jets to the Giants. But that's the updated news with Aaron Rodgers holding us all hostage. Not much longer, though, right?